Welcome back to STEM with Storm. In the last video, you learned about chemical engineers and what to look for with chemical reactions. A chemical engineer is someone who studies and understands chemical reactions and uses those reactions to make things work better. Chemical reactions mean the reaction substances have when combined, such as bubbles, temperature change, light, odor, sound, or color change. In our final video, we're going to explore civil engineers. A civil engineer designs, constructs, and improves the physical world around us. We're going to talk about three types of civil engineers. Structural engineers have to understand how structures will withstand force.
All right, so we want to talk about forces in compression and tension today. So first let's try compression. So you could tell something's in compression because you're pushing on it and it's getting smaller. All right, thank you, Storm. We're also going to talk about tension. You can tell something's in tension when you're pulling on it and it's getting longer.
Structural engineers also have to understand how different shapes have different strengths, such as bridges.
So what I want to talk about now is how forces flow through structures. So in this first structure is a beam. So a real beam might look something more like this, where it's long, something's holding it up at each end, and they can be loaded at the top. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have Storm. I've got a rubber beam. It's sitting on two supports, and Storm is going to show us how when we push on that, it deforms downward. So another kind of structure is called an arch. You can notice this one by the large curve at the top. It's arching. These are also typically supported at the ends, and then can frequently carry loads in the middle. So that you can see what this looks like, I've created an arch, and Storm is once again going to push on this. You can see how it deflects when you load it. So that is an arch and a beam.
Hey class, you ready for a brain break? Everybody stand up and let's do some head, shoulders, knees, and toes. You ready, guys? Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees, and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Good job, class.
Another type of civil engineer is a geotechnical engineer. They have to improve the soil to make it stronger so that it can support large amounts of force. Geotechnical engineers have to understand how to make the ground stronger in order to support new structures, such as building roads.
So today we're going to learn about geotechnical engineering by doing a demonstration using these two piles of sand. So to help me with that, I've got Liz, one of my students. So Liz, there's a pile of sand. I'm going to ask you to step on this in a moment. What do you think is going to happen when you step on that pile of sand? I think it's going to move out. All right, well, go ahead and step on that sand and let's see what happens. Well, it pushed down. Not surprising. All right, thank you very much. All right, over here I have another pile of sand and I have another student. Caitlin, what do you think is going to happen when you step on this pile of sand, keeping in mind what you just saw when Liz stepped on hers? All right, well, let's go ahead and step on that and let's see. Oh my goodness, nothing happened. Why do you think nothing happened, Caitlin?
There's gotta be something in there.
There's gotta be something in there, right? Yeah, I did something to that. Well, let's see what I did. One sheet of paper was reinforcing that sand. All right, so one of the things that engineers can do is they can engineer the soil, they can reinforce it, and that allows it to become much, much stronger. When you drive down the highway and you see these large vertical concrete walls, those have been reinforced just like this, and it allows it for the sand to be stacked vertically and hold the walls up.
A transportation engineer constructs the roadways to withstand force and keep us safe. Transportation engineers design objects that will absorb force in order to keep us safe upon impact.
All All right, so what we have here is I've got a little toy car, and I'm going to represent a person in that car with this egg. So I'll close the door and the person's in there. So what I'll do is I will roll this car down the ramp without any engineered device at the bottom, and we'll see what happens. Oh my, we've made a bit of a mess. All right, so without an attenuator, we've made a big mess. All right, so let's try this one more time. This time, I'm going to put an attenuator in there. This attenuator will give a little bit and hopefully slow the car down and not break the egg. All right, so we'll try this one more time. I have a new egg. I'll close the door and we'll roll it down. And you can see this time, our egg survived without being cracked. The attenuator worked. It slowed the car down and saved the people inside.
Today's big idea. There are many types of civil engineers. A structural engineer understands force and designs roads, bridges, dams, and other structures. A geotechnical engineer improves the soil to make it stronger so that it can support large amounts of force. A transportation engineer constructs the roadways to withstand force and keep us safe.
You can be a civil engineer too by making your own egg drop at home and put it to work. Test it out. You can also try to build your own bridge using blocks, Legos, spaghetti noodles, or other items that you find, and test how strong your bridge is.